Perfect. Well, look at this. Folks stuck around. Where are y'all from? How are you? We're Wrestling on the Spectrum. Where are we at? Indiana? Louisiana. Did you drive or fly? You drove it?
Wow.
Yeah,
Ooh,
get that Adderall and Diet Dr. Pepper. Let's go, baby. Where are you guys from?
Rhode Island.
Oh, you flew,
Rhode
right?
Island.
Absolutely. You've done Top Guy weekends before, right? Fifth, grizzled veteran. Love it.
That's right.
Love it. Have you been to St. Louis before?
First time in St. Louis.
Really? Oh, well. Wait till you visit our east side in Illinois. Stories. The Gene Simmons. Crockett's got some angles on the east side. Crockett's booking the
We're all ears, baby. We're all ears.
I want to go to the east side with David Crockett, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Hang out.
You might not come back, but.
Yeah, baby. Next thing you know, we own the club. Next thing you know, we own the club. That's how I got into the Sizzler market. Where else is folks from?
What is wrong with
Where y'all from in the back?
Phoenix.
Phoenix, nice. Flew in here. Who's never been to St. Louis before? Me. Oh my gosh. Have you heard of toasted ravioli? I need you to order some. Maybe it's at the arena. I thought this stuff was everywhere. Did we hear that? It's not even a joke. It's a recommendation. And then gooey butter cake is our thing. So St. Louis.
The way they talked about toasted ravioli last night, it sounded like I didn't want it.
Why?
Oh, you want it. Oh, you want it.
Sir, I think you've had to have a couple Manhattans, and you will want it, and you will like it.
Oh, well,
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
All right.
The way they talked about it last night, I drank 3 martinis. I know. And I still didn't want it.
Oh, sir, I will personally make you in the air fryer, and you're going to love
it.
it.
Ready here, baby.
All right. Well, thanks for sticking around. We're going to have a great show. All right. There we go. Live in front of a studio audience. Come on.
Here we go. Oh, I got it up. It's churning.
It's churning, baby. Got that AOL. What's this? Flip over to Voltron. There we go.
We're waiting for the commercial today.
Blue Chew.
All righty then. Wrestling on the Spectrum. AEW WrestleDream is today at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Chaffetz Arena. We are live at AdFreeShows.com at Top Guy Weekend. Holy cow. A jet stream may be traveling onto the show today, and all of that and more today. We are live here on Wrestling on the Spectrum.
Brody, check us out on the road show, baby. How are you guys? Absolutely fantastic to be here at Top Guy Weekend. My name is Tony Patrico. You spell that Patrico, baby. And joined, as always, by my good friend JC and Brody the Brain Herman. Now, I know we have a lot of folks here, live audience, a lot of folks from out of town. So just to kind of give you what Wrestling on the Spectrum is, I'm sure you guys have heard the term on the spectrum a lot in pop culture nowadays. Some people look at it as a negative. Here on Wrestling on the Spectrum, we do not. JC, tell the folks a little bit about what Wrestling on the Spectrum is.
We have weaponized Brody's talents here. I'm telling you right now, for a lot of sports, but particularly pro wrestling, he's a young guy, but he knows all the stuff. He knows the David Crockett eras. He knows all the things about wrestling and can. We're going to have a little challenge we call Beat the Brain. So I know we all know a lot about wrestling. It's really fun with Brody. He's weaponized it. Brody, when you watch wrestling, how do you remember all of these stats and your childhood growing up with TNA? Tell us a little bit. Give us an insight into Brody's brain.
Oh, it's just a lot. I remember, TNA, WWE, Ring of Honor. It goes all the way back to the olden days. And, you just got to be a savant of wrestling and learn really all of its great history because it is a great sport, guys. Obviously, you all here know the great history of professional wrestling. That's why you're here at Top Guy Weekend. But, it's just incredible. It's an incredible sport. It's a great uniter of all of us being here today. And we're going to have a great show for you guys. But it's just the way that it works, and you just remember it. You got to watch it a lot, though. I know you guys have all watched it a lot, but you got to watch it a lot and read, and you'll learn it. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, we're 3 friends. We've joined up with Lou Info Station, Dave, Tony Patrico. He is a celebrity. And so we're all like you, but we've had the opportunity here to get this show on the air, and we are having a blast.
Yeah, and we're also live on YouTube. So if you guys are driving around St. Louis, I know the weather's terrible out there, but if you're hanging out at home, you want to watch the show, feel free. Again, we do have some special guests coming by. Brody, I always like to tell people, how old are you?
Well, I was born in 2002. I am the age of 23.
23 years old, but I can give this man wrestling trivia from 1971, who was the champion in August. And he'll tell me not only who the champion was, but where the match was held, what the stipulations were, what the weather was outside. And each and every week, it blows our mind here on Wrestling on the Spectrum. Give people kind of just a little bit of context, like if you had to pick your top 3, I would say, all-time kind of wrestlers that really kind of molded who you were, who does that look like?
Well, it's very good, Tony. I would say Ric Flair, Terry Funk, and Jerry Lawler would be the 3 wrestlers that really molded my fandom, I would say. And, of course, Bret Hart's great, Mick Foley, of course, great tag teams like the Midnight Express and the Road Warriors and Rock and Roll Express are really the wrestlers that really molded my fandom, I would say.
And all of these inactive before he was even born, which
Yeah,
is fascinating to me. I love hearing from fans that didn't grow up in the Attitude Era. We were there. We were there during the Monday Night Wars, flipping back and forth. And folks like David Grau go even deeper than that. So it's just a fascinating, fun time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, and the way that this show works is obviously, you know, Brody has all the factual information, the love, the passion behind it. I like to look at things as I'm the guy that, yes, I started watching during the Monday Night Wars, and I keep up with wrestling. I don't even go remotely near the knowledge that JC and that Brody has. But again, this is something that we like to, like you mentioned, weaponize. So Brody, I want you to kind of give me a little bit of your thoughts on AEW as it stands right now and leading into WrestleDream here at the Chavetz Arena tonight.
Well, All Elite Wrestling, obviously, for those in the audience know, but those who don't know, AEW was started by Tony Khan, the son of Shad Khan, back in 2019, and really has given a lot of wrestlers great opportunities to be on national television that we really hadn't seen before. For those who were here live in attendance, Eddie Kingston is one of those examples that Tony Khan has just given a platform to give these guys an opportunity to be on national television all around the world on Turner Broadcasting. It is an absolute treat what he's done. And just some of the great things AEW has done is just given our audience here in the United States a new opportunity to see a lot of guys. Will Ospreay is one of those guys. Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita. Some of these guys, and they're going to be all wrestling, you know, some of them are going to be wrestling on WrestleDream tonight here in St. Louis, here at the Chavetz Arena. The event starts at 7 o'clock p.m. Get your tickets. I think they're still available on AEWTIX.com. Come here. It's going to be great to see some wrestlers you probably have not seen before. Kyle Fletcher, some of the wrestlers you just haven't seen before. That's what AEW provides, wrestling that you haven't seen before. These guys have never been, or some of these guys have never been on WWE television. They've never been seen before. So that's why AEW is great. It gives you new opportunity to see wrestlers you haven't seen before.
And what I love about AEW is it's like almost like the Savannah Bananas, right? Where you go and it's fan first, right? You really feel a kinship in the room here. Everybody's going tonight, right? To WrestleDream.
Everybody's going to WrestleDream tonight.
Heck yeah. St. Louis has such a rich wrestling history. We heard from Tony Khan on our buddy Rizzuto's show. So fascinating to hear. So we're so thrilled and put on some great events. But tonight, I'm a little worried about this Moxley and Darby Allin stuff. I mean, this could get extremely violent.
And you know what? And I'm okay with that, because every once in a while, a little violence is something that I need to see, because I am one of those people where, again, the story can always tell the story, and you can always build up, and you can always showcase exactly what's going to happen, and you can try and drive the car. Your navigation, it can only get you so far. But once you get in that ring, everything goes out the window. And now you've got two guys that hate each other that are going to literally beat the hell out of each other. I'm very excited to see it. Brody, your thoughts? Darby Allin? You talked to Darby Allin last week.
We did. We interviewed Darby Allin recently on another platform on the Lou Information Station, Hot Take Central 2.0. And let me tell you about Darby. He's a lot like Jeff Hardy. He's a death-defying wrestler. There's nothing this guy won't do, and he's got a lot of interests. Skateboarding, filmmaking. He's got a lot of interest, and he incorporates it a lot in his wrestling presentation, the skateboard especially. He's got a lot of interest, and this is a big match for him. You know, he's going up against Jon Moxley. He was Dean Ambrose in the WWE, and, you know, obviously in a typical Moxley-Darby Allin match, there's not going to be any rules, no disqualification, no count-out, but it's one of the only ones, surprisingly, one of the only matches with no rules on this card.
I love it, though. And
it's going to make it special. You know why? Because the only way that you can lose this match or win this match, on the other hand, is making a wrestler say the two words, I quit.
And guess what? You know who I would not want to have an I quit match with?
Jon
the guy
Moxley.
that just climbed Mount Everest.
John
Like
Moxley.
he doesn't have much of an I quit in him. So you've got a lot of things that are going against Moxley going into this, but you think, Brody, that Moxley takes the win here?
No,
huh?
I don't. I think no, I don't. I think John Moxley already put Darby Allin in a coffin, so I'm going with Darby Allin. He is going to get his revenge on John Moxley. He's going to make John Moxley utter the words "I quit," and I think Darby Allin beats John Moxley here in St. Louis.
Hey, well, guess what, Brody? We said that we have an opportunity to get some guests that may be stopping by today. The first guest is here. Brody,
All right, I'll
hit him with the
introduce him.
intro.
Yes, absolutely. He has wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is new. He's wrestled in AEW this year. He's a part of Jetstream. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you, Kevin Knight.
Through the smoke, through the pyro.
There he is.
What's up?
Absolutely.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Good to meet
All
you,
right.
sir.
Good to meet you too.
Thanks for doing this.
Sir, thank
Do
you.
the stick,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I appreciate it, man.
doing?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for
Right.
coming
Let me
on.
sit right there, right
I
here.
know, take a seat right
Okay,
here, my
cool,
friend.
cool. Just want to get comfortable. How you doing?
Heck yeah.
Oh, we're doing
Early.
great. We're absolutely doing great. Kevin Knight is with us right here. Of course, first question we want to ask you, how'd you end up in AEW?
How did I end up in AEW? That's the question everybody wants to know, right?
Yep.
It started. I want to have a beautiful story and everything, but it's as simple as New Japan. I wanted to stay with New Japan, and Rocky Romero wanted me to get more reps, get more opportunities, and Tony Khan really liked my character and what I could bring to the table. So he gave me a shot, and just with every opportunity, I want to make the most of it. So and Tony really saw a lot in me and gave me the opportunity to do both New Japan and AEW. So I was like, why not? That's the best of both worlds. I could travel in between and experience two different cultures and two different locker rooms. And I was like, the AEW fans are the rowdiest in the world, so why not have some fun while I'm in the States? So
Kevin, he asks, what brought you to AEW? I asked the question, what was the moment in your life where you were like, this is what I'm going to do for a living? Because I know everybody has that moment where they hit that wall, they're busting their butt in the indies, and they go, okay, I got to make the decision. Am I all in or am I out? When was that moment for you?
To be honest, ever since my first day of training, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. And I know that sounds cliche or whatever, but ever since I came from a football background, so I never knew how to get into pro wrestling. But once I literally Googled, hey, Google, how do I become a pro wrestler? And I followed the steps. You find a school, teach you and everything. So once I learned the basics, I was like, yeah, this is definitely for me. And it just came naturally to myself, and I just stayed on the track. I would leave work early just to go to training and still go to the gym and everything. My boss at the time wasn't happy about it, but we're here now.
Absolutely, Mr. Knight. How did you end up tag teaming with Speedball? Mike Bailey's a part of Jetstream.
Oof. Jetstream, that may be a new tag team.
Uh-oh.
Jet Speed.
Jet Speed, baby.
Jet
We'll fix it
Speed.
in
There
post.
it is. No problem. But Jet Speed just came across as me and Speedball have such a history together. We worked together in other promotions. And I think we did the first Dynamite after Dynasty, I believe.
Yep.
And he put us in a money match. And I think the money brought us closer, to be honest. We did a trip into Magic City. It wasn't on camera or anything, we had to keep that PG. And we hit it off backstage. And I think Tony saw the chemistry that we had in that 8-man tag and just decided to keep us together. And we've been on TV ever since.
Absolutely. Of course, FTR, you guys are going to be wrestling FTR in the pre-show. For those who don't know, FTR, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, the best tag team in the world of professional wrestling.
Ooh.
However,
Shots fired.
is looking to get a major signature win over FTR to try to elevate themselves. What is your approach on defeating FTR along with Stokely Hathaway? Because he can get in the way.
He can get in the way. And the last time that we faced him in a regular tag match, he cost us, I don't know if you guys remember, in the tag tournament in Philly, Chicago, he reached out and threw a crutch just so Dax could hold on and get the pin on us. So I think me and Speedball still have a grudge since that moment. And we have their number. Every time that we've been in the ring with them, whether it was an 8-man with the Outrunners, whether it was singles against Dax, we've had their number every single time. So I think me and Speedball are going to go with the same game plan and give them all feet. No fists. No fists.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, you've wrestled a lot in New Japan Pro Wrestling. What was that like, and how do you think that prepared you for AEW?
New Japan built me up from ground zero. I think I did 6 months, less than a year on the Indies before I got to New Japan. And New Japan basically reset me as a character. You know, you start from the young lion route. You have black trunks, black boots, no personality. You only can do 5 moves. So you need those 5, 6 moves to be as impactful as you can. So just having that intensity, having that intent with everything that I do, I think made me stand out so much once I got to the States, because I was able just to have fundamentals that many schools may not do coming up. So I think New Japan definitely prepared me with the reps. It was a whole different culture. I had to make matches with people that spoke no English. So that's how I kind of knew what I was doing.
Kevin, I'm curious. You're one of those guys that I'd show non-wrestling or maybe lapsed wrestling fans. Hey, check this out, Kevin. Oh, you know, Will Ospreay. You guys, you can't take your eyes off you when you're in the ring. I'm curious, what is the fan reaction as someone who's wrestled all over the world culturally? Japan. What are the differences as you go around? Can you just feel it in the ring?
Oh, 100%. In Japan, they treat wrestling like a sport. It is not pro wrestling to them. They treat it like how we treat football or how we treat basketball, baseball. They have so much respect for it. So they are very quiet and watch every detail and watch your technique. They want to see they don't call us wrestlers, they call us players, because they want to see if you have good technique. So they're very technical with their analysis. Now, when you go to Mexico, it's a party. It's a party all night. They just want to have a good time. You go to Arena Mexico and Mystico to just show up and just stand in the ring for 10 minutes and they're going to go crazy. Mm-hmm. So the culture in Mexico as opposed to Japan is so different in that realm. And then you get to America where it's such a show. It's a performance. It's about the showmanship as opposed to not much so the wrestling, but we just look at, excuse me, we just look at wrestling a little bit different than the other two cultures. So me having experience with all three, I feel like makes me stand out because I can connect with anybody.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I'm the music guy on this show.
There we go.
I'm the guy that, you know, I DJ, I put music together. So I always like to ask everyone I talk to, okay, you got Jets at a Palooza, let's say. You get to pick 3 artists that are going to be on the main stage as the headlining acts. Who is that for you?
I got 3 artists. That's kind of tough. So I'm gonna pick some from every genre, I guess.
Love it.
My favorite rock band, I gotta go with Rage Against the Machine. They gotta do a set with us. Yep. That's cool.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if we're gonna keep it PG, but
no, they're in. They're in.
So Rage Against the Machine is definitely number 1. Number 2, I think I gotta go with 50 Cent. I love 50 Cent just because of his energy and everything. I feel like he can mesh well with Rage Against the Machine. And maybe 3, if we're gonna slow it down, even to get a good throwback, I gotta say Isley Brothers.
All right.
I like the foundation.
I love that. I love that. And
right.
See, I hear that. You say 50 Cent, you say Isley Brothers, you say Rage Against the Machine, and my brain immediately goes, I could probably pick at least one song from each of those artists that would be a really good entrance.
And hopefully the crowd will appreciate the spectrum in between those 3 artists. So
absolutely. I would buy tickets to your show. I would 100% buy tickets to your show. Man.
We at least got one person in the audience.
I would buy tickets. I'd buy tickets, absolutely. Of course, what are your goals? We know you want to win all the gold in AEW, the World Heavyweight Championship, Unified Championship. We know you want to win the team championship with Speedball Mike Bailey. Who are some of your dream opponents that you want to wrestle, that you're just looking forward to wrestling? What are some of your goals in just professional wrestling in general?
See, I'm a private guy, so I don't really everything out there, because as soon as you say things out there, many people are going to try to do anything that they can to stop that from happening.
Love that.
So everything that you just said may be on a list and may not be on a list. Anybody that's in wrestling wants to be the absolute best. So that's all I can say is the Jet, along with Speedball, we just want to be the best at AEW each and every time we show up on the screen. So, and hopefully that will lead us to our goals.
Kevin, you know, St. Louis is such a rich wrestling history. I'm so glad some folks are traveling in from out of town to visit St. Louis for the first time. We've all heard Wrestling at the Chase. This is where The Rock won his first title, first Hell in a Cell. Do you have any St. Louis memories per se, or are we making new ones?
I think this is my first time in St. Louis.
Woo!
You guys have some pretty good Chinese food. I haven't gotten to the Emos pizza yet. I haven't gotten to the Emo's Pizza yet. Maybe I'll Uber Eats it tonight.
Oh,
I'm glad that you said that about Chinese food because St. Louis Chinese food is much different than
It's
regular
different?
Chinese food.
It is.
does.
We
I
think?
had the chop suey last night.
okay.
Somebody told me about the St. Paul. I didn't get the St. Paul. I'm kind of mad that I didn't. But I'm a big foodie. So I honestly just want to see what you guys have to offer in that aspect.
Yeah.
Did my mic cut off? Nope.
Nope, you're good. We're good.
Hello, check 1 2. There we go. But no, I've always wanted to see the arch. I guess the arch isn't
There
too
you go.
close. But no, this is my first memory of St. Louis right here, and this has been wonderful.
Obviously, you're from A-Town in Atlanta. What are some of your favorite Atlanta wrestling memories?
Atlanta wrestling memories, it's kind of crazy because
Okay, rapid.
although I spent a lot of my time there, I didn't wrestle much there. I started my wrestling career in Seattle, but I did have a few. Actually, the first time I wrestled Speedball Mike Bailey was in Center Stage in downtown Atlanta. So we have a lot of history there. And that was a great experience in my hometown in front of my family and friends. And now that's my tag team partner. So it's great to share that memory with him.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love it.
Indeed. I want to see Kevin Knight do a 360 off the arch. Careful if he gets up there. I don't know what's going
Is
to go
somebody
through
gonna
his
catch
head.
me? Is somebody
Dude,
gonna catch me?
listen.
That's all I got.
We'll do it. We'll do it safely.
You
We'll
are
do it
like
safely.
AI in real life, sir. The move sets that you do. It's wild, Tony.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Mr.
Kevin
Kevin Knight.
Knight.
Hey! Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you for coming on.
Great luck tonight, and we wish you guys the
Good
best.
luck.
And once you guys win tonight, this is my favorite thing. You guys win tonight, he gets to eat his words by saying FTR is the best tag
That's
team.
true.
Oh,
That's
okay.
true.
So when we see that happen,
I'ma come
again,
find
if you're
you.
ever back into
Alright.
town,
Don't
That's
be
fine.
hard to find. And then you buy the Emo's Pizza, and we'll see what he thinks of
Please.
the bell cheese.
We got fancy with FTR shirts on.
yeah.
Oh,
Where
Kevin's
he
walking
at?
out.
Where he
Yeah.
at?
He's walking out.
Kevin, again, thank you very
That's
much, man. We
my
appreciate it.
Good night.
Thank
Good
you
night.
again, St. Louis. See y'all tonight.
Great
Thank
job,
you.
my friend.
Kevin Knight, everybody.
Kevin Knight, make some noise.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank
See
you
you.
again.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Oh, the hits keep coming, Tony. No big deal, huh?
I know.
Top
I
Guy
absolutely love
Weekend.
it.
And
I
Top
absolutely
Gals
love it.
here. Shout out to the top. Shout out to the top gals,
I
right?
do- you know
That's
what?
a
I
good
do
lady
like
that
that.
comes
I
along
like
with
that.
the top guy. We've got some good gals.
Yes, we do.
Gosh darn it.
Probably my favorite thing is we've got another one back
gals,
there. Hello,
right?
hello,
Come on,
hi, hello.
Brad.
My favorite thing is whenever wrestling comes on, and it's on in my household multiple times.
Right.
I usually get from the kitchen into the living room, and I get I'm gonna go read my book. I go, perfect. We can both do our own things.
Listen.
And I love the fact that when I get to see couples enjoying wrestling, it makes me so jealous but so happy.
I got to tell you, my gal Sarah, she gets on Reddit now. She knows all the backs. We're watching everything. She devours this stuff. So I'm just saying, shout out to the ladies that make the top guys work. Huh?
Yeah,
There you are.
absolutely.
They're into it. It's not so bad. Seeing these
Absolutely.
sweaty men and women.
Now, speaking of top ladies, I know the AEW Women's World Championship is on the line.
Yes.
Brody, briefly, give me a little bit what's going on with that
Yes,
today.
Tony Khan actually booked a rematch, folks. It's going to be Chris Statlander defending her AEW Women's World Championship against Timeless Tony Storm. And obviously, the belt's not going to change hands at this point, this early on in Chris Statlander's title reign. So the belt is safe with Chris Statlander. She will retain, but we're looking for a rematch. And who doesn't think Tony Storm's great, right? One of the most popular female wrestlers in the world. She's phenomenal. Obviously, this feud with Statlander. Will Statlander join the Death Riders? I know she rejected them initially, but maybe she's going to join the Death Riders. Who knows? Maybe not. There's a lot of intrigue going into the AEW Women's World Championship match I'm looking forward to. A lot of great wrestling on this card.
Yeah,
It really is.
I think for me with this match, it's what version of Tony Storm shows up.
Yep.
That's going to dictate who's walking away with the belt. I know you say no way is the title going to change. Listen, nowadays in pro wrestling, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to think because now injuries that I believe are real are not real. Stories that I believe have been building forever are all of a sudden dropped and not given any explanation. So I think that it all depends tonight what version of Tony Storm is in that ring to see who will come out the victor.
Well, talk about the girlfriend test. Tony Storm is one of those that you show a non-wrestling fan. Like, this is hilarious. This whole entire character. I say, forget females. She's one of the biggest stars out in wrestling right now. So I'm looking forward to this, and they're going to bring it tonight in St. Louis.
Yeah. So also, I did want to mention, I wanted your thoughts on this because I know you're hit or miss when it comes to the Young Bucks.
Sure.
And I think it's great that they're doing this match against Jurassic Express. It's an ultimate callback, but again, it also is reintroducing not only Jack Perry, but also Luchasaurus. And now we are seeing, is this going to be a singles push for both of them? Are we going to tag them up together and let them roll? Any thoughts on this match coming up?
Well, the winner will receive a $500,000 cash prize. Now, if they want to do this match down the road and have a rematch, I think the Young Bucks get the cash prize and they do something down the road later with these two in a rematch. However, if the Jurassic Express, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus win the match tonight, babyfaces triumph and glory. I think that, you know what, this is the first match of catapulting Jurassic Express further up the tag team division. But yes, you know, I think the Jurassic Express wins tonight. I think this reunition will last. I think they climb up the tag team division and they receive a $500,000 cash prize. It looks like we have another guest, guys.
What?
We
Another
have another
running?
guest.
What?
Yes, we do. We have Kevin Knight's tag team partner in Jet Speed. He was a 3-time TNA X Division champion. He has wrestled all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Speedball, Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well, friends,
In
How's it
real
going?
life. This is awesome.
He's wearing shoes.
This is
nice ones too.
Whoa.
Welcome to the show.
How's it
Jeremy.
going?
Thank you so
Welcome
much.
to the show,
Brody.
Mr. Bailey.
Very
How's
nice
it
to see you.
going?
Very nice to see you. Awesome. In real life. IRL, folks. Welcome to Wrestling on the Spectrum. Jeff.
Thank you so much for having me.
You kidding me? I know it's early. What getting into St. Louis? I
Wait,
love asking folks.
Hold on, it's 11:30
Listen,
a.m. It's
I'm
not
saying
early.
it's early Central Wrestling time. or
It's
something,
early
okay?
for
CWT.
some, but we're here.
Not everyone's as disciplined as you, sir.
Right.
And so that leads to my first question. I'm sure you get it a lot, though.
Yeah.
Your martial arts experience translating into the ring. Tell us about just what powers your core.
What powers my core?
I
is such
took
a
that in
vague
kind
question.
of a cyberpunk.
Yes.
Right now, it's caffeine. It's mostly caffeine.
What's your caffeine preference of choice?
Black coffee.
Really
honestly.
straight?
Iced Americanos,
Really?
ideally.
Yeah.
But I love an energy drink. I love green tea.
Oh my!
You know?
Okay. We can go downstairs and say, "Give me the speedball."
Right? No, if you go down, well, it depends who you're asking downstairs. Don't go downstairs and ask strangers to give you the speedball. You
Right.
might not get caffeine.
It's fine. I said
It's fine. All right, let's dive
It's on
into
brand,
this, of
baby.
course. How did you end up in AEW in 2025? Because you've wrestled all over the world for a very long time, but now you're in AEW.
Yeah, I mean, I like that we skipped right over the martial arts question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you
Shouldn't
can
be
lead
relevant.
into it.
This
We'll
is
talk
how this is how these interviews should go. They should be all over the place, and it shouldn't have a kind of straightforward narrative.
Speedball
That's
style,
passe.
baby.
That's done. Let's just zip from one thing to the next. I mean, it's been. I don't know how far back you want me to go in the actual journey, but it took me 20 years to get to AEW. Basically, I was with TNA for the last 3 years. That contract came up, and then I had incredible momentum behind me. I knew I could pick my options, and just looking at where the people who are, in my opinion, the best wrestlers in the world were going was AEW. And honestly, like, it's such a catchphrase to say that AEW is where the best wrestle, right? But that is legitimately the reason I signed with AEW, is because I love pro wrestling, like beyond, the fact that this is my job, beyond the wrestling industry. I love professional wrestling as an art form. I did independent wrestling on small to big shows for 20 years, wrestling regularly in front of anywhere between 20 and 5,000 people. And that kind of raw professional wrestling that I love is exactly what AEW is putting on television for a much larger audience without compromising the art of professional wrestling. And so, of course, it was a no-brainer for me to join
Absolutely.
AEW.
We all know that you wrestle barefoot. Why do you wrestle barefoot like the Von Erichs? And obviously that comes from martial arts. How will you incorporate martial arts into your wrestling arsenal?
So I don't think that's even a question. Like, I couldn't take out the martial arts from my pro wrestling if I wanted to. It's literally how I learned to move. It's how I learned to, what made me the person I am is martial arts and the discipline and having to go through that, starting very young and being bad at something and then working hard enough and long enough to stick with it and master it is really, like, that was the first thing that I ever fully learned. And that stays with you, I think. And I've even though I've been a pro wrestler for 2 decades, I've never stopped practicing martial arts in whatever form I could. It started with Taekwondo, but then it became, so many other things. And I think that it becomes a lifestyle and a way of thinking that certainly applies to professional wrestling.
Absolutely. You are wrestling FTR, best tag team in the world
Ooh.
of professional wrestling.
There he goes again, folks.
Obviously-
No filter, Brody.
Obviously,
yikes.
you're
No
looking
filter.
to get a big win over FTR. How do you plan on, alongside your tag team partner we just spoke to, Kevin Knight, on how do you guys plan on beating FTR tonight here in St. Louis?
So they're the greatest tag team of all time, right? I can say that. And I truly believe it, right? I think the Young Bucks, really, I think the match that they had at All In is one of my favorite tag team matches of all time. And I don't want to say it in a way that sounds rude, but I think FTR have let themselves go. I think they've given into the pressure and the shenanigans. And I think if we can try to bring them back to their roots and just push them, I think we're younger, I think we're stronger, I think we're faster, and I think we've got them there.
What are your thoughts on Stokely Hathaway?
Love Stokely. We're a good little guy.
Big factor in this match, Mike.
Yeah, but I don't want to say anything bad. I think he's had a hard enough life. Gets no hose, very small, lost his hair. I'm someone who tries to lead with empathy. I don't want to say anything mean because there's so many mean things that I could say about Lil Stokely, and I just won't. So I'm going to say he's a very nice guy, a lot of potential, great body.
Obviously, Jet Speed has a lot of goals that you guys want to achieve. You want to win the AEW Tag Team Championships. Winning tonight catapults you further along in that. What are your goals in professional wrestling, Mr. Bailey? And who are some of your dream opponents that you have?
My goal is to be the greatest professional wrestler of all time, and that's what I'll keep trying. I mean, I think that that's accessible and that's possible. I don't think I have any limitations when it comes to professional wrestling. I don't think there's anything that I couldn't do. Of course, immediate goal is to become AEW Tag Team Champions with Kevin as Jet Speed, but also I want to be AEW Men's World Champion. I want Kevin to be TNT Champion, and I want us to be Tag Team Champions at the same time. That's, I think, is a very reasonable goal, but much further down the line, I think teaching pro wrestling is something that I'm very good at. It's something that I enjoy doing. There's a lot of great, active, working professional wrestlers right now that I either had a hand or training them or mostly trained them, and I get so much joy out of watching them perform and become better professional wrestlers and kind of grow their stock. So definitely down the line, I would love to teach professional.
So you want to open up a wrestling school?
I think so. I want to say yes, but I think that the common definition of opening a wrestling school feels too small. I want to open up a wrestling super center.
Like a performance center.
Dojo,
no.
I think.
No, I'm thinking like Walmart super centers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where there's
Right.
Walmart stores, which that would be your wrestling school, but then the Walmart super centers have like the photo lab and a hairdresser in it that no one goes to, and maybe a Domino's
Wait a minute.
pizza, a McDonald's, sometimes a Subway.
Subway,
So what I'm saying is I want to open a wrestling school with a Pizza Hut inside.
Sign me up.
I like the
Sign
idea
me
of
up.
sometimes Subway is the perfect definition for a Walmart Subway shirt.
But no, I think that people who teach pro wrestling, and I have a lot of criticism and feelings about professional wrestling schools and how they operate. And I think that just teaching, people who want to learn pro wrestling to do wrist locks 2 hours a week and a lot of squats is completely insufficient. Right. I think that in order to teach someone to be a pro wrestler, you need to prepare them in many different ways. And that includes not only putting together the skills that you already have, which is the pro wrestling, but also teaching them the skills, which is mostly, martial arts and actual fighting. But then there's also the social media side of pro wrestling that is something that needs to be taught and people need to be educated in if they want to succeed in pro wrestling. Right. And then I think there's giving them platforms in which to do the content creation and pro wrestling. I think all these things need to be tied together in order to prepare an individual to enter the professional wrestling community. And that's why I think just a pro wrestling school to me, which is what we commonly have nowadays, doesn't feel like enough. we need to prepare people to deal with the entire package of difficulties that come with the pro wrestling industry.
That's a fantastic point. I've never heard anyone bring that up. How do you build your brand and all the things
Yeah.
you have to deal with outside of the ring? That is fascinating.
Yeah. And Mike, I know we've got a little bit more time here with you. A couple more questions. When I see that you're going to be in the ring, I automatically, it doesn't matter who you're going up against. I go, got a shot every single time. Okay. And I think that's, you kind of pride yourself in that, is
Yes.
that no matter who it is. So with that in mind, past, present, doesn't matter, who would be that dream match for Speedball? Who is that wrestler?
Yeah, it's Bryan Danielson right now.
Yeah.
Like 100%. I mean, I know that it's like one of those matches that it still could happen,
Mm-hmm.
but we've got to push for it. I've got to be loud about it, and I'm actively working in AEW right now, and I know he's on commentary.
Right.
I know he said that I'm his son's favorite wrestler, so that I'm Buddy's
That's
favorite
awesome.
wrestler, so that's a big point in the Come Back and Wrestle Speedball column.
Yes. I
But,
love that.
Kind of the best.
Would you guys like to see that match? I think
Yeah.
that'd be a hell of a match to see.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, generational
Yes.
talent.
I would absolutely love to see that match. Brody, how about one final question? for
Yeah,
Speedball?
absolutely. Of course. You know, you've had so many mentors in your career. Who are some of the mentors that you would have guest lecture at your wrestling school?
Wrestling Center.
Wrestling Center, Super Center.
Super Center, thank you. Don't take out the super.
Center.
Right?
There's groceries.
So I have let's say three opponents that I can think of with whom I had matches earlier in my career, and it really changed the way I look at professional wrestling. One of them being Evil Uno, who was Player Uno, where I wrestled him, who does not get nearly enough credit for everything he does for professional wrestling. And I think what Uno is doing with mystery wrestling right now is absolutely fascinating. And to just go deep and stretch out that last question as long as I can, and to go deep into like independent wrestling, and where I think a lot of independent promotions are going wrong right now, is that you can't just have a promotion. You can't just do a wrestling show. Your wrestling show needs to have an identity. It needs to have something different to bring the audiences in. It needs to be more than just a show that's happening.
Right.
And I think that he's cultivated a great platform for himself. I think independent promotions now need to have a face. They need to learn to use content creation and social media to not only benefit them and get people to see their shows, but also elevate the performers who are on the show. And ever since the first time I wrestled Uno, I knew that he was a real genius when it comes to professional wrestling and the wrestling business and navigating the landscape. I think that Kevin Steen, right?
I know you wrestled him.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Who you guys might know by a different name, but that's
Kevin,
going to come
oh,
down to
Kevin
who?
Steen.
I don't know
We-
that.
yeah,
I don't
we
even
know
know
him
who
as
that
Kevin
is.
Steen.
Real
I
G's.
moved to an orphanage, and that
Small
orphanage
cars.
burned down, I think, and that's the last we heard of Kevin Steen. But Kevin Steen is someone that I had a lot of matches with before he left, before he up and disappeared to God knows where. And the way he broke down professional wrestling and how specific he was about the details and how every cool ass move that he did was specifically designed to make the audience feel a certain way is something that I think is unique, and I gained a lot from. And the last one goes back to the match that we had at PWG, and that's Kenny Omega.
Wow.
And I remember the way he approached the match completely blew my mind. And it wasn't until I debuted for DDT a year or so after that match, less than a year, a few months after that match, that I understood, this is how pro wrestling works in Japan, and that is because of the context, that's because the way things are here, that you need to adapt to this. And I think a huge issue with professional wrestling is that people idealize it. They do what they saw on TV and think they should replicate, and not what is accessible to them, what their audience demands. And I think that one of the biggest lessons that I learned from wrestling in DDT, and that I think is something that Kenny Omega does probably better than any professional wrestler alive, is that I think while pro wrestling is a subjective art form, you can be an objectively good professional wrestler.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think having the skill to, no matter where you are, no matter what the show is, no matter who you're wrestling, no matter what situation you're put in, you will do what you are required to do. Right. In DDT, oftentimes you were asked to wrestle in the middle of a shopping mall on blue gym mats in front of an audience that doesn't really even want you there.
Yeah.
They're just
They're in
walking
the
around,
background. Yeah.
right? And seeing what it takes from the wrestlers to have the skill to entertain people that don't even want it, that are actively annoyed by professional wrestling, to make them go, oh, this is actually really, really cool.
Yeah, that's
and I would like to see more. And developing the skills to be able to do that in any context,
Right.
Yeah.
I think is what makes someone an objectively good professional wrestler. And that is something that I really, really, I mean, I did it before, but something that I really, really felt when I wrestled Kenny for the first time.
That's awesome. Thank you, Speedball Mike Bailey.
Everybody,
for coming on
Speedball
Wrestling
Mike
on the
Bailey.
Spectrum. We appreciate it. And for you, hopefully you beat FTR tonight to really make yourself known in AEW.
I know you don't mean that, but thank you for saying that.
Hey, I'm going to
Hopefully.
stop by and get a
Hopefully.
blimpie and a little bit of a wrestling.
Oh, hold on.
ring, okay?
Before we go, I have to do a thing for the speed vlog.
Love it.
Because we're right now, the real Monday Night Wars is the ratings war, the views war between, Speed Vlog, BT, Sammy's vlog, Queen Aminata. Though they're not Monday. I mean, Monday is just BT and Speed Vlog. But hello, everyone.
There we go.
Oh!
Top guys and gals.
So we're working really hard to get those views up and take on BT. So thank you all so much.
Smash
Yeah,
that subscribe
very
button.
much. Thank you.
Speedball,
Ladies
Mike
and
Bailey.
gentlemen,
How
Speedball,
awesome is
everybody.
this,
Mike Bailey.
guys? WrestleDream.
I am
world.
just, as we get closer and closer to AEW WrestleDream, it's just one of those shows where each and every match that is on the card, there's something different for everybody. And that's my favorite thing about this. So if you're looking for the brutality of the I Quit match, you've got that. Again, a bunch of different matches with, high flyers, and that's going to be a lot of action. But what I want to talk to you about, Brody, we actually got to sit down and talk to the head of the Don Callis
Yes.
family.
Ooh.
I want to know your thoughts on this tag team match for the championship.
There are two prominent matches featuring two Don Callis family members. The full interview is up on the Wrestling on the Spectrum YouTube channel and the Loot Info YouTube channel if you want to listen to our live full interview with Don Callis. Of course, the tag team match he's referring to, Brodito, which is Bandito and Brody King, the AEW World Tag Team Champions, will be defending against the Don Callis family of Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. There may be cracks in the foundation there. Takeshita may be jealous of Okada, and can they stay united in order to defeat Brodito, Bandito, and Brody King to win the AEW World Tag Team Championship? Of course, Don Callis think they can. They're going to fight for the greater good of the Don Callis family, but that remains uncertain going into this pay-per-view. Do they do the turn tonight, or will the Don Callis family, Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita, win the AEW World Tag Team Championship? I don't know. I think we may see a turn tonight, guys.
I see.
It could happen.
You say that. But then again, I go back to our interview with the head of the family, and what did he say? You asked him that question.
Yes.
You asked him, what about this tension that is building between these two? And his response was, they have something that a lot of people don't have, and that is respect. And when it comes to the greater good, they can put all their personal differences aside, and they can make it happen in the ring.
But
I
can
got to
they?
listen to the head of the family. I gotta
encourage
listen
you,
to him.
get on YouTube, get on Wrestling on the Spectrum. Don Callis. I didn't get a chance to be there, but I listened to it. Boy, that is a mastermind speaking. It is a quick lesson in just hierarchies. And you see Don. I know we all love to boo him. We've seen the headscar and things. This is someone who is truly another cerebral assassin, to borrow a phrase. It's a fascinating commentary and interview. I mean, don't you think Okada's kind of jealous of Takeshita's success here in the New
We'll
Japan?
see. We'll
Where's this all
see.
going? Is this headed to Wrestle Kingdom?
It could happen. Takeshita and Okada wrestling each other.
Oh,
Wrestle
my
Kingdom. That
gosh.
could be a match. Jeremy's booking the territory.
Wow.
He's got
I
it.
don't know. That seems impossible, but lately everything does.
And of
Everybody's
course-
talking about maybe Cope showing up in another promotion. This is
Oh,
crazy.
get there and down the road, of
Oh,
course, for the
listen.
AEW TNT Championship. Don Callis' protege, Kyle Fletcher, he's very high on him. He's improved on his physique. His work in the ring has greatly improved. He's going to defend his title against Mark Briscoe. By the way, Mark Briscoe seeking his first gold in AEW. He's never won a tag championship or a singles title in AEW. We know he's won numerous tag titles and all the belts in Ring of Honor, but it's time. It could be time for Mark Briscoe to finally hoist up the gold and win it in St. Louis. If there is a room for a title change on WrestleDream, I think this could be the one here. The Don Callis family implodes, and Mark Briscoe can win his first gold in AEW.
Well,
Interesting.
we did mention to Don, sometimes I get the saying strength in numbers. But when you continue to add people to your family, the foundation starts to crack a little bit when you start to put a lot of people on that foundation. So who do you think walks away? Do you think Briscoe does it? Briscoe gets his flowers tonight.
He's been ascending. He beat MJF in a tables and tax match. It's ascending. I think it could be time for Mark Briscoe to win an AEW championship.
What do our top guys and gals think?
What do you think? Is it time for Briscoe to win?
Briscoe?
Briscoe
thumbs down. We got the big.
a little bit.
I think we got more thumbs down.
Controversial room here. The lattes are flying. The Bloody Marys are getting chugged.
All right. Well, tell me about the World Championship match. Tell me about the main event.
The main event is going to be Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. And, of course, Hangman Adam Page has not beaten Samoa Joe yet in singles or tag competition. So, Samoa Joe, for those who don't know, obviously, we all know the top guys here know a lot about this guy, Samoa Joe. He's wrestled in Ring of Honor against opponents like CM Punk. He's wrestled in TNA against opponents like Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. He's wrestled in WWE and wrestled opponents such as Brock Lesnar. And he has been an AEW World Heavyweight Champion in the past. But now he is wrestling. He's trying to regain, I might add, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship by beating Hangman Adam Page. However, it's probably not going to happen. Hangman Adam Page, I think, retains the belt. It's not time for the belt to switch hands yet. And Hangman Adam Page will win the main event and will retain the world title in St. Louis. There will not be a world title change here tonight at WrestleDream.
Says the brain. Wow, this is going to be a hard-hitting match either way. I mean, when you're in there with Samoa Joe.
Any Joe match that I've seen, it doesn't matter if it's been, at an indie show, at Ring of Honor, even in the, WWE, and whatever it may be. Every time Joe gets in the ring, it's almost as if I watch him and I go, that guy scares me. Like, he scares me just watching him on TV, because he does things where, again, you look at professional wrestling and off the top rope and all the high flyer and the high speed and all of this. Samoa Joe just can beat the hell out of you.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what type of wrestler you are. Samoa Joe adapts to you. And I think Joe is in a really good spot here, but I just don't know. One thing I'm really interested to see, and if anybody's not going to the show tonight, you're going to be watching it on TV. I would love to see how the announce crew is going to handle this, because not only do you have, they respect the hell out of Joe, but Hangman's the face right now. I mean, he's the face of the company. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that as well. I like that, but I think Hangman walks away with the belt. JC, what about you?
Yeah, you got to believe, but boy, anything can happen in a night in St. Louis. Trust me.
Absolutely.
There are some other matches on the show. Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. And of course, if you were there at the Crack Box last night for the comedy show, you saw Tekla. Tekla, I think, is going to get a big win over Jamie Hayter here. They are pushing her to the moon, and I think Tekla will win this match. What are your thoughts on Tekla coming into AEW? What are the crew's thoughts? She's from Austria. I saw her last night at the Crack Box. What are your thoughts on her ascension in AEW?
Awesome look, awesome moveset. How's the comedy?
Oh, it was pretty good. It was pretty fun. For those who watched Tony Schiavone and Harley Cameron, it was quite the show. You had to be there to experience it, but it was quite the show.
How was Tony's Type 5?
It was awesome. And, of course, the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, MVP are seeking revenge versus the demand of Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. Bishop Khan is one of the more unsung heroes in AEW, and we may see his ascension in a few years. Bishop Khan, that'll be in a Tornadoes Trios match. I think that means no rules. I know all the wrestlers will be in the ring. There'll be no tagging in and out. It'll certainly be a Tornado Trios match, not serpents, no disqualification, no count. I'm sure the Dapper Yapper, Justin Roberts, will explain it to us, of course, here in AEW. And, of course, for the fans here, it's going to be awesome because we've got T-shirts for all of you here, so you can go pick up a free T-shirt.
That's right.
We're going to give you all a free T-shirt. It's going to be awesome.
Brown and Krupin's our sponsor, so I'm going to say we're going to have to put a little legalese in there. To earn a T-shirt today, you've got to beat the brain, Tony.
Yeah, so we mentioned this at the beginning of the show. Brody the Brain Herman over here, absolutely incredible when it comes to wrestling trivia and wrestling facts. Here's how I want to do this. I will read a question. Okay, I'll pick one of you guys out in the audience. You just have to tell me if you think Brody's going to get the question right or wrong. Okay. If you guys pick correctly, that's how we'll do it. Here's an example. We're just going to set this as an example. Which former high school teacher of English and graphic designer is an AEW world champion?
Oh, Beating the brain.
Brody, do you know the
That was
answer?
Well, I
literally
do.
Tony
It's
Khan.
Hangman Adam Page, but obviously our crowd is going to help us here because
Of
you know they
course
all
they
know all
are.
this
Of
stuff. They all
course they
think they
are.
know all
I
this
think
stuff.
he
and
wants
lot
to
of
work
them
a
do.
little
They're
stiffer,
top
Tony.
guys, Tony.
Okay.
I think he works to work a little stiffer.
Okay, we'll get a little stiffer here. All right, who's my first contestant? Who wants to go first? You want to
Come
go
on, beat
first?
the brain.
There you go,
You, sir.
All right. So the question for Brody is: the Butcher and Brody King are both musicians in heavy metal bands. Name the band that the Butcher plays guitar for.
Whoa.
Do you think Brody will know the answer? I mean, I'm telling you, I swung hard here. So.
From what I've seen so far, Brody, yes, I'm 100% confident he's going to get this.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a good. What's he most famous for being in? It's what's he's most. And right, this isn't a wrestling question, so I went real hard. Brody,
Little curveball.
do you know the
Speedball.
answer?
I don't.
Ah!
There's somebody in the crowd,
Yeah,
guys. Does
does
anybody know
who
the
in
answer
the
to this
crowd
question
knows?
in the crowd? He does.
Every time I die.
All right,
is the
we got a
correct
fan that
answer.
got it.
Yep, we get it.
Absolutely.
Get him a T-shirt.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
All right, here we
Somebody
go.
got it.
All right, who else? Who else wants to be a contestant? Back there, sir. Okay. The question for Brody is: which current AEW star was on the reality show Big Brother? Don't answer. Don't answer. Do you think he will get it or no, sir?
Hanging out with Brody last night. He's definitely.
What's up?
Okay.
All right.
All right. What AEW wrestler was on Big Brother?
It was Darby Allin.
That is incorrect.
Really?
It was Luchasaurus.
Was it Luchasaurus?
Luchasaurus, yep. He was on, his real name's Austin Mattinson, and he was on, I believe, in 2015. I
Really?
remember seeing that
Wow.
that season, and he was talking about how he was an independent professional wrestler. And I went, we're never going to see this guy. And the next thing I know, I'm like, son of a bitch, there's a dinosaur on TV. I'm
He
like,
was on
we
Big
have
Brother.
seen this
Wasn't
guy.
Darby Allin on a reality show? Somebody in the audience knows. He was on a reality show, wasn't he?
Okay.
All
Yes,
right.
sex sent me to the
Besides that,
hospital. Oh my God, you're right.
He was
All right,
on a
you get
reality show.
You get partial credit there. You get
All
partial
right,
credit,
all
right?
right.
Okay. How about this, Brody? We got
a minute. We got a minute.
we've
We
got
only
one more.
1 minute.
All right. So, Brody, what was the name of the legendary weekly television show taped right here in St. Louis that ran from 59 to 83?
Okay, Wrestling at the Chase.
Okay. Does anybody think Brody's going to get that one correct? All right, perfect. We're giving
All right,
T-shirts
of
for
course.
everybody.
Yeah,
All right.
T-shirts for everyone, and of course for our social media platforms, it's right here. Please give us a follow. It's X at Wrestling OTS, the letters OTS, and of course for all the others at Wrestling on the Spectrum here, and of course the Facebook page Wrestling on the Spectrum. On TikTok, we just reached over 10K followers. It is tremendous. So thank you for guys in the audience.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for coming to Top Guy Weekend. If you are going to the show tonight, make sure that you go AEWTix.com. Tickets still remain. AEW WrestleDream at the Chavetz Arena.
Tonight at
My
7
name
o'clock.
is Tony Patrico. That is Brody the Brain Herman and JC. Thank you guys for listening to
Thank you.
Wrestling on the Spectrum on the Lou Information Station, live and on demand 24/7 at louinfo.com. Woo! Thank you guys.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Please
Yeah,
come and get a
everybody
shirt.
gets a
Come
T-shirt.
get a shirt.
Everybody gets a T-shirt.
Get a shirt.